Hello, this is Michael Patrick King, and I'm sitting here with
Sarah Jessica Parker.
And this is a conversation about Sex and the City 2, the sequel. It's so amazing to be sitting here again, talking about a second movie.
I know.
Remember?
I really honestly thought I would never, I didn't even actually think of it.
Everybody thinks we had it up our sleeve.
No.
We did not. I mean, when we did the DVD for the last one, it was like,
yeah.
so long.
Glad.
The theme for the movie, really, there's two themes. One is tradition and how we fight or don't fight with traditions even today. Would you agree?
Not only would I agree, but I would say that Carrie's story, for her to be asking these questions.
Even though the big banner of the movie is this big, gigantic, extravagant, glamorous,
exotic,
over-the-top, exotic getaway, what I love about the movie when I see it is that it's all that, but it's really anchored in Carrie Bradshaw's tiniest, gigantic story of are we enough and am I a wife? And now I think in the second movie, her drama is about the lack of drama almost.
Yeah.
You know, looking at that other person and saying, well, this is it.
Yeah.
Every night.
You know, that's what she fears, that's what she thinks, that's what she's experiencing, sort of. Anything that's quiet about their lives is haunting, I think, because everything about their lives up to this point has been loud and chaotic and boisterous and exciting. And when he says, "You done good, kid," I always thought that actually meant something to her. Like, I always play it like, thank you for noticing. Like, well, I actually have wanted to commit in this way to being your wife for the last 2 years, and I really have betrayed fashion for furniture.
One of my important lines that I thought, I also thought that was a very, very genuine compliment that you should, Carrie should take. That you turned your focus on their home for 2 years. And that's a lot to do. And the fact that she says there's only one more piece and we're done is almost the reason we have a second movie.
Yeah.
Because it's all done.
Yeah.
Now the only thing to do is start pulling it apart.
Yeah.
I thought that the apartment was beautifully conceived. When he says, we don't go out on a Monday.
Yeah.
And there's something in there that
one of the things that he does so perfectly in the bed scene later on when we're arguing post the premiere, when he says,
well, what do you want from me? I put on the shirt, I went to the thing, and now you're hammering me about lying in bed and watching a little TV? I mean, what is the problem?
I love that. I love when he yelled.
You know, all this stuff was put in there so that the problem really would be Carrie's.
But there's got to be
real reality.
She has to push for a fight.
Yeah.
And you ratcheted it up.
And I'm ratcheted up with two things. Penelope Cruz entering as Carmen Garcia Carrion.
Yes.
And then the post-premiere party fight.
Threatened by what she sees in him, which is what she would like to see in herself. Which is
the point of what I like about the fact that there's a fight. The traditional thing to say would be, I'm jealous.
Right.
And Carrie says, oh no, I like it. You know, that's the twist, I think, that, you know, it's like, it's not the Dagwood and Blondie cartoon 1930s husband and wife. She's like, yeah, sparkle it up around here.
How her children see her every morning.
That's where the audience gets to see Charlotte's private hell.
Yep.
The fabric of her lie is falling apart. And it just says, here we go. The story has started. Charlotte's pretending to be perfect, which is nothing better than that. And then, of course, the other mother moment in the movie that is killer to me is when they're at the bar.
Well, that scene.
And Cynthia admits, and this is killer. There's a couple of dangerous moments for me as a writer that I was like, wow, to see it played is so beautiful. In that bar scene, Cynthia says, having a child is not enough. I miss my job.
Yeah.
Being a mother is not enough. I miss my job.
I would like to talk about my favorite Kim moment in terms of just superficial prettiness.
Yeah, I have one too.
I wonder if they're the same, but mine is her in the white dress.
Just like the Terminator, go. Cynthia's falling down, and then you got all the way up one time, and I said you weren't supposed to be on the right foot.
Yeah.
Those were times when I thought I'm going to be shot if they have weapons.
You told me one time I was smiling too much. I was like, oh no. I can't even realize.
That smile was probably your tendons pulling your legs
No,
up.
I was probably genuinely happy is the thing, but Carrie Bradshaw is cooler than that.
Did I say you're smiling too much?
Yeah, you were like, Sarah Jessica, please don't smile on this one as much.
It would have been sad if I didn't have a bullhorn. we had spent all the money. I'm just like, Sarah Jessica, don't smile as much. But the other thing is, there were some difficult working conditions. That glamorous hotel, there were actual crickets, and the wind was actually blowing as I'd hoped it would in an effect.
Yeah.
But it was really happening. And the sound of the fountain and the quiet of the crew, because it was one of those moments where everything was like magic. And I just think that was amazing.
And she was great.
You were great. She was great.
Yeah.
We're both great. But I'm really happy about it. And it's really important because what happens in that scene to me is the only reason that the movie works. That's the end of the evolution for the struggle that she has.
I mean, I just love doing that scene, as you know. I love doing scenes where I can just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and much preferred to coffee shops where they're compartmentalized and broken up, and those are technical.
Talking. That's what I love about that scene is you can't talk.
No, I know, but I mean that I get to
go
work.
Go.
You know, yeah. But
that word New York is the killer, and every
great.
time you say it in every single take, there's something that happened. And a door got opened, and it was different every time, and it was always right, and it's a magical night for me.
One of my favorite scenes to work on in the movie alone, because sometimes I like that too,
that I didn't feel the need to cut. I could just let you be in real time until the very last moment. And it is thrilling. That's one big long shot, and it's you two and Aaron Zigman's amazing score. And to me, it's like old-timey Hollywood. Because, you know, they used to do that a lot.
Yeah, I
they
know.
trusted whatever was happening, or they didn't have a lot of time or money.
We watch movies and we're like, they haven't cut yet, they haven't cut yet, they haven't cut yet.
The interesting thing about you and Big, and the very last thing we've done in the movie visually, is we go out to that window, and at the very end, in post-production, I said, something else needs to happen, because we've seen the end come on. Something has to happen here. And we came up with, at the very last minute, I got so emotional because what it said to me was that there are people sparkling in their apartments on different levels, and Carrie and Big are now sparkling their couple. Maybe you're in there by yourself, maybe you have a couple, but all of a sudden you see this abstract sort of, the city becomes a painting, and this very quiet end to this very loud and big movie.
Right,
and it's kind of ballsy, but I like it. It's like what we do. Nobody does that. One of my favorite things about watching the movie, because it is such a big canvas, this movie, there's a lot of scenes where it's just the four of you walking and playing out individual things. There's not a lot of cutting. You can see all four girls. How Miranda was going to sing, and how Charlotte was going to sing, and how Samantha was going to sing. The reality is, every time I saw this in editing, and I saw it a lot, that number, I was always struck by you all saying, and I know too much to go back where I've been.
Yeah.
And I just thought, yeah, you do. You all have been down that road.
Yeah, but why, if we know too much, are we so wanting sometimes to go back?
It's an interesting thing. People are always investigating their past because I think they're always trying to figure out who they are. I think everybody's still trying to figure out who they are now.
Yep.
Versus who they hope to be. And that's what I love about Carrie. She keeps fighting for who she hoped to be. And nobody could be better than you at that.
Thanks. No one could write it better.
Thank you.
That's the truth.
Thanks. The end.